Hey guitar players, today I'm going to talk about Open D versus Open G tuning. I'm going to play for you a bit in each one. We'll compare and contrast these tunings, and I'll tell you which one I would pick if I had to pick just one open tuning. Before we get started though, I want to let you know I do have a free gift for you, an Open G as well as an Open D tuning guide. These tuning guides show you how to get into the tuning, what the basic chords are, as well as some other information. So I'll put a link for that in the description. Go ahead and grab those if you don't already have my free tuning guide. Now, the reason I chose Open G and Open D tunings is these are the most commonly used tunings among the acoustic traditional blues players. If you listen to the music of Son House, Robert Johnson, Charlie Patton, Booker White, Tampa Red, Mississippi Fred McDowell, R.L. Burnside, all these players used either Open D or Open G. Now, sometimes they would tune lower or higher, so it might be tuned to Open E, but the relationships are still the same. A lot of the solo guys didn't necessarily tune to exact pitch. They might not have had a tuner. Maybe they preferred it lower or higher. So let's dive into it. So I'm going to start off with G. I've got this resonator guitar here tuned to Open G. And basically for Open G tuning, your strings are D, G, D, G, B, and D. So those are all notes in the G major chord, and when you hit all the strings, you get a G chord. That's why we call it Open G tuning. It's a beautiful chord and a different voicing than what you get if you're playing standard tuning. Now, the other main chords that the blues players use in Open G would be a C chord that goes like this, and a D7 chord that goes like this. So it's got a just a different sound if you play those basic chords than you would in your standard tuning. And then also, because we're tuned all the way across to a chord, you can lay a finger down, say on the 5th fret, and you'll get a C chord. Or I can lay a finger down on the 7th fret, and I can get a D chord. So that's what the basic chords sound like. It's also important to note that our G note is right here on the 5th string and the 3rd string open. We also have a G note here on the 5th fret on the 1st string. So those are important locations, and because that bass note is on the 5th string is going to make it very different than when we get to Open D tuning, and I explain that. But you know, Open G has certain characteristics. It's going to sound a certain way for singing. If your voice fits good in the song you're singing in Open G, then that's going to be good. But let's take a listen to it with some slide. We can also do a chord across at the 12th fret. That gives us a G chord. So we can use the slide just like the finger and get those chords. See, I end up a lot of times on that 5th string. That open 5th string is that's like the landing pad. That's the home spot that you're going to land on. So that's what Open G tuning sounds like more or less, and some of the different things that you might want to do with it. I'm almost always going to be playing in the key of G when I'm playing in Open G tuning. It just works out. Everything works out nicely that way. It all fits there real nice. All right, so now I've retuned this guitar to Open D tuning. So let's take a look at Open D. So for Open D, the notes are D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. Once again, these are the notes of a major chord. Now this time we've got a D major chord. Now one of the cool things that I like about Open D tuning is you've got 3 Open D strings. You got that 6th string, 4th string, and the 1st string. So that's really cool because any riff that you play on any of those strings, you can transfer to the other one. So like if I went, I could do that on the 4th string. Or I could do that on the 6th string. that's a nice advantage of open D. The basic chords that the blues players would use typically would be this for the D. From the 5th string down, we've got this one for the G. And then for the A7, we've got this one. So once again, if you played these same chords in standard tuning, it's going to sound different. You know, this has a very pretty different kind of... That's part of the magic, is just those first position chords that the traditional blues and roots players would use. Now, once again, just like open G, we've got the chord all the way across the frets. So we can do a G chord here at the 5th fret, and we can do an A chord here at the 7th fret. And I can, of course, do that with the slide. We've also got the 12th fret. That's a D chord. So right there, I was just kind of taking a riff, taking a little motif, and moving it around to those different strings. And so I am going to say, if I had to pick one open tuning, it would be hard. It would be painful. But I would probably pick open D tuning because of the reason that I've been talking about, that we have these 3 open strings. And so I feel like that leaves a little bit more possibilities, especially for playing, you know, 1-string melodies, which is something that you do a lot in slide. So I do really like to use both open D and open G tunings. They both have a lot to offer. I'd like to know from you, do you prefer open D or open G? Do you play more songs in one tuning than the other? Or maybe you're just getting into open tunings? I'd be interested in finding out. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.